Our AI agents are only as good as the data we provide to them. In this video, we're going to use a sports dataset, create embeddings, vectorize it, and add it to an agent. We then are going to run some predictions and analysis and see how well it does. By the end of this video, you'll have a better idea how to turn a dataset into a conversational AI agent with semantic search. We'll be using some NFL data, however, you can use whatever you like. Let's take a look at our tech stack. We're using TIDB as our vector database. This will be storing our NFL playoff data, player stats, and injury reports with embeddings from Amazon Titan. Agent Core Runtime will be used for agent deployment and built-in memory for conversation history. Let's take a look at the architecture of this app. Now we have a mobile client, but this could be a desktop client, and this connects directly to Agent Core Runtime. Now, typically you would use a VPC or an API gateway, but for this demo, I just wanted to show how you can connect directly. Now, the Agent Core Runtime connects with the agent, and the agent has a number of different tools. There's an agentic loop. Every time you ask the agent questions, it's going to figure out what tool to call, and it might call multiple of them. Now, the most important one that I want to focus on today is this RAG search, and this actually talks to a MySQL database that's vectorized on TiDB. You can see from here. We have a couple of other tools that connect to some external APIs through Wikipedia and other places. So if we need additional information, that can be used in the agent as well. Of course, with Agent Core Runtime, we have some really nice features with it, including memory. So we have the short-term and long-term memory, which we can use to save our conversation, be able to retrieve information back from it. I'll show you how that works. And then for our large language models, we're using Claude and then Amazon Titan embeddings. And that is used with the vector database when we chunk everything together. So now that we have a good idea of what the architecture of this app is, let's jump into the code and look at it a little bit more in detail. Okay, I'm in my IDE right now. I'm using Kiro. It's our new agentic IDE. If you haven't checked it out, it's awesome. It's at kiro.dev. It actually helped me with this demo. But let's go ahead and try it out and run it. So I'm using TypeScript. I'm using Node. I have it set up, and I'll show you the code momentarily. I'm going to run npm run dev. It's running locally. It's also up on the AWS cloud if we'd like to run it there on Agent Core Runtime. But you can see here, I have invocations and a ping endpoint. So we can actually just curl a command and ask it a question. So I'm going to ask it, what playoff games are coming up next? And then it has an actor ID. This is essentially who it thinks I am. And it has this memory built in. So depending on who I am, it'll remember my previous conversations. I'm just going to call it this actor ID Jim. So what it's going to do now, it's going to check first the memory to see if it has any recollection of this question in the past. It didn't. And now it's using the RAG search. So it's using that TiDB vectorized database to pull the information. And here it is. So there's 2 games as of today. So probably by the time you watch, these games will be completed. But it tells us there is a Denver Broncos game coming up against the New England Patriots, and an NFC Championship game, the Seattle Seahawks, as well. So now, since we have this information, we can ask it to get some information about who it thinks will win. So I'm going to come back over here. And let's do a little analysis and prediction. Let's ask it, who do you think will win these games? And so now I come back here, it's accessing the memory. So it's going to use a few different tools. So you see it uses the ESPN matchup tool. It's also using the search, the vectorized database, and it's grabbing all the data to be able to do this analysis. So it thinks that the first one, the Patriots and Broncos, its prediction is Patriots 27, Broncos 20. Obviously, if you follow sports, there's a key player that's hurt. And so that's why one of the reasons it determined that would be a better prediction. And it gives you some analysis of who thinks the defense is, the coaching edge. And then for the Seahawks game, it thinks the Seahawks will win 31-24. You have to leave me in the comments how close it was. And it says basically home field advantage for the Seahawks, Kenneth Walker third, the dark side defense, lots of interesting information here. So you could see that I was able to feed it information directly from my own data sources, and it was able to use external data sources to do this this search and this analysis and predictions. Now let's take a quick look at what the actual code looks like here. So I have inside here a packages folder. Inside it, I have NFLDB. And we did a couple of things. I have a few different scripts here, and I'll leave the code for this in the description. So if you want to play around with it more, I have a load playoff script, which is right here. And this essentially is how I create the embedding. So I have this endpoint for the Amazon Titan embeddings. And then if we look and kind of do a little bit of a search for this Bedrock, we can see here we have this fetch to this endpoint. We're passing in text into it. And if we look at get embeddings, this text is right here. And so we're chunking the data from these JSON files. Let's take a look at the NFL agent. So here is the main kind of driver behind the code. I'm using the Strands Agents SDK. This is a new SDK. It's open source. You can use it with Amazon Bedrock as your model provider, but you can use it for a whole bunch of different models providers. You don't have to use anything AWS related at all. And this one is the TypeScript one, so it's a little bit newer. I've been really enjoying it though. There is also a Python one if you are more of a Python developer. And then we have this really long prompt. You are an expert NFL analyst, the assistant with access to multiple data sources. You analyze NFL playoff data. And then I have all the different tools that I created. Now I kind of want to zoom in on this RAG search. So if we look here, we can search for the agent. And so you can see agent with memory. This is using that Strands Agent SDK to create an agent. And all I do is I pass in the different tools. And the one I want to show you, including the prompt. And by the way, this SSE, this is a way to stream the data so you can get the information quicker. All right, look in the RAG search. This is how we create tools. So you have multiple tools that will work with an agent. And we're using Zod. This is a great way to do validation of the inputs. So we have this input schema as a query, top K, and a description. And I think what's really interesting here is I have some helper utilities to connect to the MySQL database that's hosted on TiDB, but it does a select and uses this vector cosine distance type of search through the data. And this allows us to take that data and the LLM will be able to figure this out and it'll be able to retrieve the information that you need. Now, I'm not a cosine distance expert. There is different algorithms and different ways you can search vector databases. But for my simple example, I just use the cosine distance one. So what's really powerful about this is that you can essentially, I had a very simple example, only had 3 JSON files, and I'm just loading them in manually from this command line. But you can imagine you can have an S3 bucket with hundreds or thousands of different JSON, different files. You can have maybe some event source mapping that whenever you add a new file in, it gets chunked and then added into the database. So it's a pretty fun and powerful way of working with agents. Another thing I want to show you real quick is the infra stack. This is the CDK TypeScript stack I'm using for this application that I'm showing you today. And I want to point out a few things real quick. First, I'm using the new AWS Bedrock Agent Core Alpha library. So this library is changing, but I find it very useful, especially if you're using CDK and TypeScript to do everything you need to do. Of course, I'm setting up an ECR repository. And by the way, if this looks Greek to you and you've never used CDK before, a quick tip is inside Kiro, I have a bunch of MCP servers installed. I also installed the AWS Bedrock Agent Core MCP server. This is really, really helpful. And then I have the Powers AWS Agent Core server installed. So I'd highly recommend to look at those. That'll help you out as you create this. And you can just tell it to create an Agent Core app using CDK, and you can give it some specifics. So here's the ECR. This is where I'm holding my Docker container. Now I'm using the secrets manager. Obviously, I don't want to have all this information out inside the world in environmental variables anywhere because they're secret. I also put some just text here. So these are just placeholders. Obviously, these aren't real. So as I create the secret object values, I have it in here. And by the way, if you want to know how to set this up, I do include a README in the repository. Check that out. And here's how you set up memory. This is really nice too. They have an Agent Core library through AWS Bedrock Agent Core Alpha as well. So this is really nice because I can go in and set up the memory, which is the long and short-term memory, and you can do these conversation summaries and the facts and information that I'm saving are all set up here. And there's different strategies. I won't get into this, but you can look at the documentation on how you can set up different namespaces so it remembers you as you talk back and forth. And then here's the L2 construct. So once again, I'm using the Agent Core and I'm using runtime. And what I really like about this L2 construct is usually if you're using the L1 construct or doing this manually, you have to set up a lot of different IAM roles. This actually has all the IAM roles included, the basic ones that you need. So all I had to do is give it a runtime name, the description, the ECR repository that I already added here. I just pass that in and the name, the latest. I'm using a public network. Now, I am using the default, which is using IAM. Of course, I could use Cognito, but just for this example, I used IAM. And then the environmental variables. Now, these are variables that are going to be passed into this ECR repository. So, of course, I have the region, and then I have the secrets ARN. Obviously, I don't want to expose all the variables, the secrets and environmental variables. I want them to be from the secrets manager, and then the memory ID, which is once again really nice. It just created it right here. And then I did have to add in a few additional IAM roles for Bedrock, so that way that the NFL agent could reach out to Bedrock and talk back and forth to it. So I have this invoke model and this foundation essentially says that I have star here. So just for this demo example, it has access to all the foundational models, but it's only going to be able to work with the ones from this account. And then I have the permissions for the Agent Core memory, which means I can create, get, list, retrieve, get memory. And then I have some basic permissions on that. And then I just output all the values. So that's essentially it to set this up. And if you want to look into more detail, certainly look at the repository. And that's how you build a production-ready AI agent with vector search. We use TiDB with semantic search with Amazon Time Embeddings. We use Amazon Bedrock and Agent Core Runtime with memory. Links to the repo and TiDB docs are in the description. Love to hear any questions or comments you have. Leave a comment below. Thanks.